here's what keeps me up at night. Ghana's success alone is not enough. However admirable Ghana's turnaround story is, we cannot be a jewel in the dirt. We must work together as Africa. We must knit together the patchwork of success stories.
An African leader advising other African leaders. It only took Kwame Nkrumah to do that. Kwame Nkrumah was the only bold leader. No on Africa baby, two African leaders for say Cambone Bako, near developing Africa as one. And then John Dramani Mahama, my president, your president, our president, His Excellency John Ababio, John Kwame Nkrumah, John the Joy Giver. Also, the joy and spread it across the African countries. Nina.
In Ghana, we're proving something important, that execution beats excuses. We're cutting government spending and have reduced the size of government to a record low of 58 ministers, including deputy ministers and regional ministers.
John Dramani Mahama, Odia Sempanabo. Papa no ekopemu ewo devils na enya sem ketua ni na no eye Accra Reset Secretariat. Papa no di kan kadada say waba no na waba or the reincarnated Kwame Nkrumah say Kwame Nkrumah de o make sure say Africa ni na. Ye beka ye ho bom na e baako as one country, not just a continent. Na ya fighting against imperialism and neocolonialism. And now yet one I see Donald Trump, United States of America president. O say me vaccine ni mwa medebo Africa eba nduru sema mayi matwini na asan. And say asema ba o say dem say dey come UN for UN for sa chema Africa for nya bie eno so masa withdraw. And say na dem ye dey say be polio nro ya say ya fa ya je yensa ma bio. Ana John Dramani Mahama nanu yai. Okopie mo United Nations say enti mono de moye na mo ga say ye hu. Enti Africans ye can the seat our to table of men and may discuss issues pertaining about the world. Africa you need one seat to grow ha. Mo take care for them for granted. No. And you can say basa. No say African leaders are much more. South Senegal, Nigeria, Cameroon, Morocco, Egypt, anase ufri Guinea and Madagascar, ufri Cote d'Ivoire, anase ufri Benin. Ye be ufri bia no ka tiro say emraso say Africa invest in education. Emraso say Africa invest in health. Emraso say Africa invest in industries. Emraso say Africa is self-reliant. Na ye be den ya ye. Unless we come together as one. Na ya brainstorming. Ni ya buse ya say contribution be ni yen contribute together. Ni na no yentimi have your health, your education, your agriculture, your energy sector, your currencies, your economy. You bet me boosting it now together and I say wow. This beautiful. And then when I say Nigeria, or hini or in Pomba or ele ofe, Nigeria say John Dramani Mahama the global shining star of Africa to the world. Eti says John Mahama yakobone hene Nigeria say on shining, on brighty wherever Africa corner no on brighty or home Africa for who the light at the end of the tunnel. And the papa I friend John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, my president, your president, our president. After say the first meeting, our Accra Ghana ha, Emma listen to Obasanjo, Papa na in Nigeria, former president. Upon the PM ha, or say Yamudi Bedi ye, African Nike Humbuma, you great, something wonderful. John Mahama when you say na say communication or super fantastic. Okasa mobin kasabi, okasa na no we na no ehwam. I say a perfume rice no. Wako kasa ma manfo say hey. Emu ya de na de omu kan say o say Africa must invest in skills, unity and industry or risk being left behind. O say o hwe be we self anani na ekona. Abrofo no ene AI, automation, honkoni aba machines omo de aba. Omo invest so much in skills. Omo invest so much in industries, but Africa na coup d'etat wa ha ubekona corruption wa ha na corruption wa ha o say as Africa no didija we benya opese odija ni nua we pese onya opese odija ni nua o say ye beye we a enya de Africa ye be develop da into the Accra Reset Secretariat no the botai na dwumade na ne say ebeka Africa bom na Africa are fighting for one common goal. Me say na say we pepepe na Kwame Nkrumah be so ye no The only difference is that Kwame Nkrumah person na ye kabom as a United Nation of Africa. Is also say you be a continent, about 54 countries in one continent, you know, and can say one country are your different states. I bet 54 states in one country. But John Dramani Mahama, John Kwame Nkrumah, John Ababio, say the only person say yanke hu ina mbomkra as one. Together we can still have the same vision, the same common goal. Let's protect each other, fight for each other, let's develop each other and have progress. Eti papa no nanu there. Or see the Accra Reset is building the architecture for a new kind of cooperation, one where global south countries don't just receive programs but co-design them with our partners in the global north, where we don't just attract investment but shape it around our priorities. Or say baby yadru no ye pese ye tra esuka kire abrofo no say either say the Asians, the Europeans, the Americans, and I say the Gulf, and I say the Arabians. Ye mo mati ase say edru say ye junior boom omo medwene no mo betum wi so ade yama ye vaccine polio vaccine no mo da bre ne age ne ya wo ye ma debi say edru say omo ya yesu ye scientists e wa ha ye nkan bom ne ye edru say ye build industry ye ka bom ne ye anything na ebeba on the table bia no, because we are all men of equals. Omo found to table no, so let's discuss, let's judge, let's take a decision. One na ne de ye one na ne de beboa ye nkan bom de beboa ye no na ye e de ama Ghana as a country. Eti eno na say John Dramani Mahama ne bota enti ne kasa na okasa no ebi no say in Ghana we are proving in Ghana we are proving something important. Execution beat excuses. We are cutting government spending and have reduced the size of government to a record low. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, our devil.
In Ghana, we're proving something important, that execution beats excuses. We're cutting government spending and have reduced the size of government to a record low of 58 ministers, including deputy ministers and regional ministers. We're digitizing services to end corruption. We're training young people for the jobs of tomorrow. We have renegotiated our debt so we can invest in our people and not just service loans. This is a resetting Ghana agenda, and it's working because we stopped talking about the transformation and we started building that transformation. Now imagine this same approach across Africa and the entire global south. The multilateral order and rules-based system may be under threat, but we can forge a new coalition of the willing based on a shared vision and mutual respect for each other. What if we pooled our negotiating power on critical minerals so we capture value and not just extract raw ore?
Papa ni sema oka chen say wase look, we are say onye a believer of omo say listen to the message and don't look at the messenger. A nonsense, a bullshit. Say Jesus Christ by na nko to amanfo mo na nko benya chidifo. Jesus Christ by na nka oba bia tokro bia aminada hu bia nko be wurama nka wo ye sure say obetima kasa tie adwamamo. Jesus Christ by na nka ye corrupter nka obetima kasa tie corruption. Jesus Christ by na nka okunkun nipa nka obetima kasa tie killing. No. And John Mahama say he's not going to be a talker. Yenim said the Kwame Nkrumah Ghana have always been a great speakers. We speak so eloquently, so friends saying a beautiful way. You be kasa amount for a be attract amount for attention. By the end of the day, zero results. But also this time around, he's a messenger who is carrying a message, who behave like his message. And you also you all cannot why Ghana kai so be PM Oma Ghana in the 9th Parliament and the 4th Republic of Ghana as the new president of Ghana in the 7th of January 2025. And upon say here, you portrait picture or yeah, President Biya, Nanka presidency not print. I friends say, we're printing a kama. No, that chama, the appointees ni na some fantata office or so on yet. Muntimi for Sika Yai. And for picture money office. You are for Sika. A bit less costly. So, what do you see Ghana? Yeah, we are if you take Ghana. But Ben, maybe you need a contract no go do this. One picture, one portrait picture, Obekono, nay 5,000 Ghana. Or this uncle has no need. DSTV was already in the same. I didn't know about you must obey you. Not DSTV, no, by chairman. I'm going to say no be jay. And you also own DSTV Mobia or seeing the ministers or buy and say, There be me minister back 120, 125, 130. I say, why? No. On one the first in the first time, 2012, 2016, about 90 ministers or so. I said, oh, maybe was your answer. Indeed, this time around, what is about 60 ministers? I know a cutting down costs. Also, one cutting down the government expenditure. Government expenditure and over bloated that the baby say Ghana nebebre, u country nebebre, and you spend too much instead of taking care of the people, instead of taking care of education, health, and kai say about health insurance. You pay your from 20 cities to 43 cities, and then from a friend is a mana from 43 cities to 70 cities, and 73 cities rather, and always any meaning will put them in terms of health, in terms of education, no stress free, or check and then you investing in our school free admission fee, or at the amount. At the same time, or as the hostels, our University of Ghana, 10,000 a friend is a hostel facility rooms are obviously at the University of Ghana, and then free pad. Or the my or more senior high school free education was actually mukina double track or so and then what they call in terms of roads and infrastructure or building or see really now because we're cutting down government expenditure and this money now if other African countries as well the oil nibia when they say be here that so much mukina no money na be anymore ebe mo manya foto bia ebe da ho a ebe tima boama Africa I take care of Africa I'm say clap for John Dramani Mahama wate. This is a visionary leader indeed. Indeed, yakase papa John Dramani Mahama, John Kwame Nkrumah, kai tie ne huni se ampa or the reincarnated. Wakwaba no onim oye, onim adwuma se oye ma Ghana. Etumpo ena Ghana obi anime serious because enema mo ya teti nema so ye tifu so dollar no eti de ne bono ene Ghana for so mo na abontia yes omo timi sere da eti omo ye okay. Security ye tight, bibia ye fine. The Ghana for say na nidie wo ho. And then nipa found so omo opposition. Omo found say no omo nye NDC for, omo found so omo floating voters and also omo NDC for. Obi ase John Mahama obi ase ye. And you all catch the other leaders almost Africa and say ye be shame o devil high and ye just flight na yafa and ye betena na ye be say ye mindful sika. Ye taxpayers money, man say no. Ye betena yenko implement it. I say what? An African leader advising other African leaders. It only took Kwame Nkrumah to do that. Kwame Nkrumah was the only bold leader. No on Africa baby, two African leaders for say Nkambo ne bako ni develop Africa as one. And then John Dramani Mahama, my president, your president, our president, His Excellency John Ababio, John Kwame Nkrumah, John the Joy Giver. Also, the joy no air spread it across the African countries. Nina into omuna omunye ready. Or say embrana so say your debts ye dear kana ye dear no. IMF ne World Bank no more so ye kwon no more so ye party ni na den ade a ye deka o se mra so say timi twa ye ka di also ono the finance minister and the foreign affairs minister en komodi di omodie amomor restructure ye debt ama Ghana ye twetwe ka se de be ya ye bra ye bo no ye tax ka ye nya no ye gold ni ye cocoa board ye tourism sika ye nya no ye mfa ngo twa ka de bia na de bia no ase odi ka na otwa ka na de bia komode nye fine nye good.
Restoring hope and we're building systems that work. In my first year of being back in office, we've shown that democracy works and that change is possible when leadership is focused and accountable to the people. From a debt-distressed, crisis-ridden economy, we've achieved an impressive turnaround with a stable macroeconomy characterized by single-digit inflation, a strengthened currency, and increased business confidence. But here's what keeps me up at night. Ghana's success alone is not enough. However admirable Ghana's turnaround story is, we cannot be a jewel in the dirt. We must work together as Africa. We must knit together the patchwork of success stories. And that is why we're here in Davos today. To take what's working across many countries in Africa and the global south and scale it up across other countries. To move from resetting one country to resetting the entire development model for the global south. And let me be direct about what we're up against.
And how do we change the narrative? One, bakope. It say you make it sure. Say, ye ka ye de as Africa. Ka say ye say Africa. IMF kankwa ye de nkwano. Ye ka the entire Africa buma. And I'm about $800 billion US dollars. Wait, about 54 countries on the they were IMF no. You know, so individuals be no music gugu sa banks anymore. Omo na pushing narratives no nti omo pese be ye ti de bia no your resources omo be fire resources akọ na de bia raw na de kọ enti sa na say jai eno kra ka na Ghana cocoa gold board Apple refinery company wa ha gold cocoa refinery na obe refinery gold o Ghana ha o se san semuni na to betwa cocoa ente be refinery no Ghana ha ama se sia na answer de be kono na ya de do different stage a ye nkoton raw ema isika kichwa bi ye be nema bebre wa ha at the same time or person Ghana export country. And this money now or two other African leaders for say, can we do that? Because Africa just about a year, is it 2025 in Kwa? I can't quite inquire over 70 billion, the 54 countries, over 70 billion US dollars. IMF and the World Bank for. How do we end this debt distress? John Dramani Mahama, Nekasano, Yopo, the way Emide. Because we need a leader that will awaken other leaders. We need the giant that will awaken the other giants. We need a leader who is visionary, who see beyond today and who see tomorrow and tomorrow next. And this is the man, the reincarnated John Kwame Nkrumah, John Ababu, John the Joy Giver, John Onapu, John Obiase. He is the hope indeed. He gives the hope for a better Ghana and a better Africa. For a comment, to comment section, I say the John Dramani Mahama, our Accra Reset Secretariat, our devil, and come on with the African leaders, how to pay their debts, how to cut down costs, how to make government a continuous administration, and how to make the people a priority, how to focus on skills and industry. Do you think how are all awakening the other African leaders, it will bring that uniformity? Ana Kwame Nkrumah the unity. Ana Kwame Nkrumah ehiano. Yebese nya sane ma no. Ama ya to aso ama Africa asesa the narrative na. I believe, I hope say nkonya other 4 years ka ho a dey be possible, but me mre sha. Can we be fast about it? For comment eto comment section na we are subscribe, like na share ma unya eso enya bi enhwe. Edi no ba ko pe Maxi Billian awo naked truth. Oldboga trends, Macro. Bye bye.